I am going to be doing a little bit of a first impressions on the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palettes. So I got Dark Magic and I got Bling Boss. I haven't even like swatched these, I haven't touched these, I haven't done anything with these. So I have no idea what to really expect, but I'm really excited. So first off, the packaging of these is adorable. I love it. I didn't know this when I like saw it online, but it has this like really pretty confetti look to it, and they have little specks. This one is Dark Magic, so a lot of the colors in it are like teals and blues and, you know, some of those darker shades, and so it has some specks of like teal in it. And then this one is Bling Boss, and it has a ton like of purple shades, and then some of the confetti is like a really pretty plum purple. So I already love the packaging of this. I also really think it's a step up from her like original Jaclyn Hill palette because it has a mirror, which is very convenient if you're traveling and stuff, and then it has the shade names on it, which I really like. I really like the packaging of these. These are way easier to travel with, in my opinion. These are something I reach more. I tend to not really reach for my like giant palettes just because I get so overwhelmed and I'm kind of uninspired by them. So I think these are so much cuter and so much smaller, and I absolutely love the packaging. I also really like, they look the same except for the like hints of color, which are a little bit hard to see, but then they have the palette individual names on the top, so if you're like looking for it, you can reach for it pretty easily. I am just gonna prep my eyes quick, and then let's start off with the shadow. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do one look with the Dark Magic palette and then one with the Bling Boss palette, and I'll just do 2 looks on 2 eyes because I have 2 eyes and I have 2 palettes, so it works out perfectly. Okay, so I just prepped my eyes with my concealer that I used, and let's get into it. I think I'm going to use the Bling Boss palette first. I am going to start off with Hush Hush, which is this really beautiful like taupey mauve color, mauve color. Hush Hush, that's a cute name. Okay. And I'm going in with the Morphe 506 brush on my crease. I'm just going to use this as a transition color. I'm curious to know how this color swatches because honestly it's not really showing up very well. Okay, so I'm building it up a little bit. It's blending out very nicely, I will say. It's not really, I thought it was going to be a little bit more like, in the pan, it looks like a really pretty, like, hushed pink. Does that make sense? But on the eye, it's kind of, honestly, it's kind of just like a gray. Wasn't really expecting that, but I don't hate it either. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. I think that it looks a little bit different in the pan than it does, like, on my actual lid. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit more to this Hush color because I feel like it just is so gray, and I feel like if I add more on, maybe it won't be gray. That doesn't really make sense, but I'm just like, just praying here. Okay. I literally have no idea if you can see this. There's like no writing on this. BH Cosmetics, I can see 105 brush. And I'm going to be grabbing Sparks, which is this like, okay. I think all the shades in this palette are super unique. Actually, I really like all of them. I feel like they're all different than what I have in my collection. I think that they all flow really nicely together, and you could easily create one look with just this palette, which I really like. And so I'm taking Sparks, which is this like very rustic, dark red shade. I really like this shade itself. I think that it's a beautiful color, and it's definitely a unique red. And I'm kind of just going to be grabbing this and putting it on my outer corner. I feel like these 2 shades here are mixing together like super weirdly. I don't know if it's just me being bad at makeup or if it's the like product itself. I kind of look like I have a bruised eye right now. Is that just me thinking that? Let's find out. But I do feel like it's blending in kind of weirdly with, with that like transition shade. I think it might just because that transition shade is a lot more gray than I thought it was going to be, so it's kind of making a weird purple color. But it's not, we're doing fine. We're doing fine, ladies and gents. I'm going to grab that Morphe brush that I was using earlier and just soften out the little edges here. Okay, so this can't just be me. Okay, I don't know if it's me or if it's this palette, but I feel like, do you see like right here, it's just like a blob of purple. I wanted it to be this like gorgeous, like scarlety red here, but it's kind of blending out really really weird. So I'm gonna try like kind of dabbing on the color, and then once I have a little bit less product on my brush, I'm going to kind of go around the edges to blend it out to see if I can build up a little bit more pigment. To see, sometimes I talk so much and I forget to breathe. Okay, so I'm going to do that process to kind of build up a little bit more pigmentation where I first start pressing it, and then maybe the shades won't blend together so much. I feel like this is working a little bit better. It's definitely just slowly working. So I'm going to be grabbing Rockstar. This is probably like, probably out of the entire palette, my two favorite shades are these two, and so obviously I'm going to be using them, but I'm going to be taking Rockstar. It is such a gorgeous plum shade. It is perfect. It's all I would ever want in a plum. And I'm going to be grabbing this on, this is just a flat brush. This is the one that came with the Naked 2 palette. I think it comes with all of the like Naked palettes. And I'm going to be pressing this on to my lid. And I'm going to be using this kind of as a base color for the glitter later. Okay, so I'm just going back in with this Morphe brush, and I'm blending out like my inner little area where I just put that purple in. And then I'm going to try and blend these two shades together a little bit. And then again, I'm going to add a little bit more of that red shade because I still feel like it kind of rubbed off a little bit. And I want it to be a little bit more red. There we go. You're not a bad color, you're just misunderstood. Okay, so we have a nice like little red to purple gradient here. So let's take that shade Ballsy. I feel like I'm gonna want to put Fix Plus on this just because that's how I roll, but we'll see here. And I'm applying this to my lid. I'm trying to decide if I want to take Glitz and Glam or Bling Bang. Why not both? So I'm gonna grab a crown brush. Where are y'all? It's like the concealer and crease brush. I'm gonna take the crease side, and I'm gonna be grabbing Glitz and Glam first on it, and then I'm gonna kind of put that in between the glitter I just laid down and the red part. I feel like this looks a little bit more like glittery in the pan compared to what I'm getting. It's kind of more of a shimmer on the lid, but it is really, really beautiful, honestly. Like, it's really, really pretty. Then I'm going to take Bling Bling, and I'm going to kind of add this towards the center of my, or towards my inner corner, and then I'm going to kind of bring it up. I'm going to take a little bit more of that Sparks color. I just really like the color in the pan, and I feel like it's not showing up as much as I want it to. And then I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of Mystic, which is like the darkest purple shade over here. And I'm just going to add this to the very, very outer corner and a little bit on my lash line for a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of like depth. So I'm going to take Sparks underneath on this really, really, really tiny brush. I'm going to take Hush Hush. I'm going to add I don't even know if this is in the frame. I'm going to take Hush Hush, and I'm going to take the tiniest bit of Rockstar on this Sonia Kashuk 116 brush, and I'm just going to blend out that original Sparks color. I feel like I should probably wipe away this powder that's been baking under my eyes for about 30 minutes, so let's just do that. I probably should have done that before my under eye, but it's fine. Life is good. Oh, I think I have makeup in my eye because I do. This is the Dark Magic palette. It has a lot of really, really cool shades in it, unique shades, I think. That's what my favorite thing about the Vault collection is, because I feel like each of them are really unique. I also think that even just like looking at this palette, I think that it's like really gets the brain juices going. I like palettes that inspire me when I look at them, that when I look I'm like, okay, this is a pretty eye look, or this would look cool with this shade. And I feel like these two palettes both do that really well, where I'm looking at the shades and I'm like, I can create so many different looks with this. So I really, really like that about these palettes, and that's like what originally drew me to them. This is the e.l.f. blending brush, and I'm going to take which is just like this really nice transition color, classic transition color. I really like how she included this color in the palette, because if it didn't have that, it wouldn't have really any other shades that could work as a transition color, and I think this one is a really nice one. So yeah, I actually really like it. I don't think that it took too long to like build up. I think that it looks really, really nice. You get an A+. And I'm going to be taking Potion, which is this green, pea green. I don't know how to describe shades. And I'm going to take it on like my inner corner crease. Again, I feel like this is the same problem I had with that red color in the other palette. I feel like I kept like trying to build it up and build it up and build it up, and then it kept like kind of just washing away and just blending into nothing, which is a shame because it's such a beautiful shade. So I'm just gonna sit here and blend it and add more and more until like it looks fine once you add a couple layers. I just wasn't really expecting that. I thought I was gonna like touch it to my eye and it's gonna be like bam, pigment, and it's not. So I feel like I'm just taken by surprise. I'm taking Busted, and I'm gonna kind of put that in my crease, but only in the middle. See, this shadow is like showing up. And then I'm gonna take Inside Job, which is a really, really unique dark, like a dark teal color, and I'm gonna take that on my outer crease area. I feel like those two look really, really similar on the lid. I'm gonna go in, this is like my Naked brush again, and I'm gonna take like the fluffy side of it and use it to blend these shades in with like my transition color, blend them up a little bit. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit more of Inside Job and add it on top. So I'm gonna go with the other end of this brush, and I'm gonna grab Trickery. It's like the glittery green shade, and I'm gonna be putting this all over my lid. I feel like I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well, but I feel like all of these shades are like kind of just blending into each other, and I don't know if it's because of like the brushes I'm using, the base I use, or if I'm like using it wrong in some way. So on top of that green, I'm going to take Power Cut, which is like the most glittery shade in this. I'm going to spray my brush a little bit, and then I'm going to go into that Power Cut shadow again and kind of and I'm really gonna pack it onto that green shade right there. I am gonna grab the Crown Brushes crease brush again, and I'm gonna kind of go over the top of the three shades I use in my crease, which are these three shades right here. I'm gonna kind of go over the top of them and see if I can kind of make them look a little bit more different, because I feel like they really blended into each other. I might have just blended them out a little bit too much. And I'm going to take a little bit of Potion on, just like a tiny bit, and add it like kind of along the top here. I feel like I'm feeling a real like smoky eye under here, like a really smoky under eye. So I'm going to take Busted, and then I'm going to take on the bigger brush, I'm going to take Potion and I was gonna try and use a shade from one of these palettes as like my highlight, but neither one of these has a really good highlight shade, or like even inner highlight shade. So I'm gonna grab one of Jaclyn Hill's other products I'm going to grab Becca Champagne Pop, and I'm going to put that on my cheekbones and then in my inner corner. And then I'll get back. I'm going to put on some mascara. So my final review on these palettes. I really liked the palettes themselves. I love the colors. I really do love the packaging and the layout with them. And I think the colors in both of these are really unique. I can't really speak on the other two as far as the formulas go, but the colors and layout of them are really nice, and I really do enjoy them. When I look at them, I feel inspired, and they're going to be really good for travel, so I'm excited for that. The only problem I really had with these is a few of the shades blended really weird into each other, and I feel like it was the mattes that kind of just got a little bit muddy on my eye, but I was able to kind of work around that with just playing around with it a little bit, so I think that these are definitely palettes that you'll have to play around with a little bit. I'll do an update on my Instagram, and I'll kind of show what I've been doing with them, how they've been working for me, and all that. So thank you so much, and